and welcome to Tuesday Night Terror Vision. Yeah, I went old school with the Halloween 4 intro tonight. What's up, Jay, man? Nice to have you back, bro.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to this.
Absolutely good to be here. Good to be here. Yeah, folks, we started a little bit late tonight because I didn't have a chance to watch the movie until right now. I just finished it 5 minutes before we came on air, and neither of us had ever seen this movie before our viewings for this stream. And Jamie Lee Curtis, hot off the heels of 1978's Halloween.
Halloween? What's that?
Yeah, right? Steps into this burgeoning franchise, Terror Train.
Terror Train. I was going to, I realized I should have changed the name because I just linked this. I just put a link up from to stream, and I should change the title to David Copperfield's like interview reel or something, like, you know, show, like, what the heck?
The magical murder mystery train.
There must have been 47 magic tricks. I'm like,
did they really put that magic over? Like, they really put that shit over big. It's like, oh, okay, buddy, we get it. Like, you like magic. Like,
I mean, it's not even Jamie's. I'm watching this movie. I was like, this is a David Copperfield movie with a special appearance of Jamie Lee Curtis.
And then the disco music while he's doing his tricks. He's like, I was like, yeah, you know, break it down, man, break it down.
I did notice the ugliest assistant, and I thought, wow, that assistant is not looking very good. I'm like, I think I may have figured it out. And I was like, yep, I think I figured that one out. That was the fastest figuring out. The second I saw that assistant, I thought, whoa, that's...
I had that Beverly Hills Cop 2 thing. It's like, that's a big bitch.
Yeah.
And then I looked, I'm like, that's no woman, baby. That's a man. That's a man. I was like, oh God, we had to watch this. The first Tuesday Night Terror Vision review in June.
Oh my God, you're literally turning red. Breathe. Oh my God, don't pass out on the live stream.
I'm gonna stroke out.
Yeah,
but no, but no. So yeah, okay. So I don't want to give the whole thing away, but
right.
Jamie Lee Curtis is in this, and it's a group of medical school students, and they are. Their pledges. They're going to a party and they're going to get their pledges laid. Now, this is made in 1980. I didn't notice this wasn't Miramax, was it? Because I'm like, was this Miramax? Because just the way like the beginning was set up, it's like, hey, we're gonna have you go upstairs and sleep with this girl, you know, because the pledges, they had to wear hats if they were virgins, they never got laid.
Right.
I'm like, I went to a community college, and even if I did go to a university, I'm not exactly the fraternity type.
Yeah.
Nor was my family the fraternity income level growing up. So that would have been out. So this in med school, no, not for me. But these oh my God. So they have Kenny was the guy's name, right? In the beginning. He's like, he looks like DJ Qualls. I'm like, is this DJ Qualls' father?
Yeah, it could be. DJ Qualls was just at NiagaraCon night, which I just went to. I was like, there he is. Hey, is your dad in Terror Train?
I'm gonna have to pull an image of this guy. He looked so much like this, especially. Oh my God, I'm like, is this DJ Qualls? But yeah, so he's like the shy one, and he goes upstairs, and Jamie Lee Curtis is waiting for him, and it's her character is the one that's gonna gonna fall on the sword, as it were, because he's gonna raise this. Well, anyway, he's gonna he's gonna take the what are they saying? Grumpy old men take the skin boat to Tuna Town. He's gonna take the log to the beaver. I love that movie. Anyway, so he comes in and she's like, I'm right here, Kenny. And the bed has one of those, what do you call
I don't know. It's like curtains around it or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not called that. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say curtains around it because we're guys and we don't.
I don't know.
I don't know.
15th century look at like this is the dumbest medical student. These are the dumbest medical students in the history of medicine. Like, why are you falling for this nonsense? Hart Bachner is like outrageous. Like, anyway, yeah. So whatever. Continue. The kid goes up.
Yeah, he goes up there and he gets in the bed and she's like, kiss me, Kenny. And she's just sitting there and he goes to kiss her and the hair comes off and it's a cadaver. It's all cut open. You see dead old tits and he's screaming and he stands up and immediately since he looked like Linda Carter in Wonder Woman, he was turning in a circle.
I don't understand. I was so...
just in a circle.
I've never so I never saw this movie. It's a fail on me. It's definitely a known movie. I knew about it. I never saw it. So I'm sitting here clean watching this 1 week ago. I watched it the day we decided. I watched it the next night, and I'm like stunned. We've seen pranks where the pranks go wrong in The Burning, right? As an example, but in The Burning, the thing falls on the guy. Like, I've never seen, this is the most outrageously overreaction to a prank that I've ever, I mean, we've seen even in Toxic Avenger, Melvin falls out the thing, but like, this is like, and it's like, what are you spinning around for? Like, what the heck is going on? I'm like, and then is this kid going to die? And then they kind of, they don't really show you what's the outcome of that. And the outcome of that is the most ridiculous outcome ever.
It looked like the gayest Lyra I have ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and for those of you in the chat, if you don't know, Lyra is the shit where you twist yourself up in them ribbons.
Yeah, and then you
spin around and shit. Well, this dude was screaming in just utter terror, and he just wrapped himself up in these. And like, I thought he hung himself because that's what it like.
But it's right. It's not that though. So. Right, it's not that. I don't think he was injured.
No, he wasn't injured. He just wrapped them around himself.
Yeah, I mean, he's a medical student who can't identify a dead body. He can't identify the fact that that this is hey, Classic. How's it going, dude? Yeah, you should do that. That'd be a good one. Yeah. So he can't identify a dead body. He can't identify a voice that's clearly not coming from the space that he's in. Hey, FK. So,
20th Century Fox.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, we'll get more detailed into it, but like this premise, this was like dumb. I'm like, okay, I like pranks going wrong. You saw it as soon as you see it's a fraternity, and I saw Hart Bachner. I was like, oh my god, it's Supergirl's boyfriend. And Hart Bachner, who is in, do you know who Hart Bachner is? You do know who he is, but you don't know. You. When I tell you who,
wait. Is he the one that was he Mo in this?
He's Doc, the guy who played.
Doc. Okay, so he's like, all right, he's kind of like the prick one then.
Yes, the main ass one. You know who that is? Die Hard. John, baby, we know each other. We're friends.
That's Ellis from Die Hard.
Die Hard, yeah.
Shit, dude.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Hart Bachner. He's Supergirl's boyfriend in the Supergirl Helen Slater movie.
Oh, hell.
Someone can fact check me if they want, but
hang on.
It's Hart Bachner, and that's definitely him in Die Hard. It is him. I mean, I'll check it just to check it for the shits and giggles. Harry Ellis. Yep. It's him.
Oh my god, dude, that's so crazy.
Yeah, he's the same character.
It's
the same guy. He's playing this
Hans Booby. I'm your white knight.
Yeah. But yeah, that guy was
got a Die Hard advent calendar of like Hans Gruber falling down, knocking to me. I literally, and I've done it before. I can go upstairs right now and go to my freezer and I have a container. In this container, 2 years ago, I made Hans Gruber. I made fucking John McClane. I made Al Harris. I made the the one henchman that he chokes out.
Yeah.
I made Holly Gennaro, and
yeah.
of course you got like you said, you got Hans, and there's one more.
The cop.
Yeah, I got Al Powell. Maybe I just made 5 of them. I can't remember. But yeah, I've still got. It took me like 4 hours to make like 6 cookies to frost them all and everything.
Oh my
like,
god! Wow, yeah.
And they still look. I mean, I think they look okay for somebody who can't. I'm not a baker, first of all, and I had to make gingerbread man just to make Al Powell accurate. I'm like, I can't make Al a sugar cookie. I'm like, he's black. He's black. I got to make it accurate. So I made gingerbread man.
Yeah, you have to make. Yeah, you can make.
Yeah. So I made an extra batch of gingerbread, which they're delicious.
They are. They definitely are.
All that just to make one extra cookie. I'm like, I need this one character.
It's worth it though, I guess. Like, but then now the other ones will be like weird. I don't know.
It's fucking fantastic. I just keep them in my freezer. My wife's like, "What are you gonna do with these?" I'm like, eventually, probably I'm gonna do the gimmick, and that's not racist. That's accurate. It would have been racist if I didn't want to whitewash them. I have too much respect for Reginald Bell Johnson.
Right.
He's one of my favorite TV dads. I grew up with it.
Yeah, except he lost one of his daughters. But anyways, Did you ever notice that one of the daughters disappears in season whatever?
Yes, the youngest one. She just disappears. Hi, Trina. She's dropping in to make sure we're not talking about.
No, we're not. A lot of people got released or left, but we're not talking about it.
I talked about that the last 2 nights.
Right. So
we're talking about Terror Train starring Jamie Lee Curtis from 1980.
Right. Well, starring David Copperfield with special appearance by Jamie Lee Curtis and Hurt Buck. David
Copperfield. Every time I see David Copperfield, all I think of is no, it was Harry Houdini. It was the gimmick from The Office where Nellie's like, "What's so special about Harry Houdini? He gets a whole museum." What did she say? Some stupid Hungarian who locks himself in a box. I'm like, ow! I'm part Hungarian. I felt personally attacked. It was fun. It was funny. I was like, God damn, that's cold blooded, but it's funny. No, so yeah, this guy's doing his disco magic too. I love that. Like, that's
great.
Yeah, and the conductor. You find out early the conductor of this is Draven. Too sweet. Then you're wearing your shirt tonight. Hey. All right, man. The conductor is part of he's going to be part of the story. Like this guy, he's got a lot of screen time.
He was good.
Yeah.
I liked him. He was one of the kind of get her done. Like, okay, I thought at one point that he was part of this revenge. And then I thought, I'm not sure if they meant this, but there's Doc, who is played by Hurt Bachner, and then the friend who's Jamie Lee's boyfriend. I started to get the feeling that Doc was maybe gay and liked the friend and wants to sabotage his relationship. I may have been reading too much into it, but their relationship seemed very odd because he wanted him to always come to him. Oh, you can come to me. I'm your buddy. I'm there for you. Yeah. And that's kind of an emotional support that two guys would definitely not be having in 1980. Not in the way that they're portraying it. Like, it would be more like, yeah, bud, we're cool. Okay. And because for him to sabotage like those relationships, or at least attempt to, is weird. That was a weird thing. I don't know if they meant that in the script and thought we better not continue that. It's too weird for the time. Maybe it's a whodunit, but
it was very homoerotic in that.
Yeah,
it really was. It got Nightmare on Elm Street too. And there's another big reference we can draw, and we'll wait till later on to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But very Nightmare on Elm Street too. With the
I like Nightmare too a lot. I think it's a good movie.
Like gas horror movies are made. Not a bad movie. Very gay. Very gay.
Yeah, when I saw it as a kid, I never pieced anything together, so I just didn't.
I didn't either when I was younger, until I got older, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, you could kind of tell. Yeah, but well done. It's the weird one. It's like the Friday Part 5. They're like Jason Goes to Hell and New Nightmare are the two kind of completely out there ones, and then Nightmare 2 and Friday 5. They're kind of part of the series, but they're kind of weird. Like, so every series has one of these weird ones, right? Like it's like it kind of doesn't, it fits sort of because we want it to fit in our mind, but you know, it kind of doesn't fit. But anyway, like Freddy's running around and like
he's in the real world.
Running around. Like I'm
he's
like,
in the
what
fucking he's like, I'm at a pool party, you know?
Yeah, like what the hell? Anyway.
Yeah. Back to Terror Train.
Yeah, so this is a party on it. Speaking of parties, this is a party on a train. So a train party. That's they're graduating or something. That's what it's like.
They're graduating medical school.
Right.
And so they're gonna have a party on a train. And the one guy who is dressed like Groucho Marx, which I'm like, cool costume. But he like says he sits there and you know, you see him on the platform. This guy's a jokester, you know, they all rib each other, they all play pranks. And
it's Shelly. It's basically Shelly, and he even gets the mask from him, which is crazy. Gets the mask from the guy.
And again, this was made in 1980. Look at all the things in this movie that were going like, oh hey, this goes here, and this goes here, and this is here from all these other movies.
Yeah.
So he ends up getting stabbed. Like you see him, he's walking around, he's got a sword through him, and he was just talking to the magician, and he gets shanked, and everybody's on the train, and nobody hears him, and the train leaves and just crushes his body.
That was awesome. That was the best thing. That was actually the best part of the whole movie, I think.
The train slowly taking off and just crushing his helmet, and then his hand, you see. I'm like, oh, I was hoping they were going to show something. I'm like, oh, get his head. Let's see the head.
Right. Yeah, they got him good. That's where I thought the conductor might be in on it, because it looked like he noticed something was off. I don't know why. Maybe it was the editing was weird, or they were trying to just throw a red herring. This is a whodunit, because once the guys, it's weird. It's a revenge tale of a whodunit, but we know it's going to be Kenny. Like there's no doubt in my mind it's going to be Kenny who's doing this.
Right.
Right. So you're looking for where Kenny is. I won't give it away yet, but you're looking for Kenny, but looking for Kenny in all the wrong places. But you're looking for Kenny, and then it's like, okay, he's wearing the Groucho mask, so obviously he's wearing the mask to fit in. This is one of the better movies where there's an excuse to wear a mask, because you are trying to infiltrate, and he constantly is able to change costumes so that you never have clear picture of who the killer is. I think that's one of the negatives of not having a franchise out of this, because there's no clearly identifiable guy like Jason in the hockey mask, Freddy with the burnt face and glove, Michael. Like if you're using Groucho's mask, I love Groucho Marx. I literally own every Marx Brothers movie. I love them. They're my favorites of all the comedy guys. And Groucho, especially one of my heroes. He's super funny. And all of his names are used in the Rob Zombie used all of his character names in those House of a Thousand Corpses movies. All the characters are named after one of his characters from another movie. Anyway, but you're like, okay, but you can't be Groucho. You know what I mean? So it's like, you can't, like, that's a guy's face, right? It's like, so they change costumes, which is neat. You don't know who he is, but you know who he is without knowing who he is. And there is still a reveal. So it is very clever. But the reveal, unfortunately, was lost on me. I won't say it. It was due to the makeup effects of the time. There is another movie. What the hell is it called? It's a William Castle movie. Murderous? I own it. I'll remember it. And there's a reveal in that movie, and that movie's black and white, and I was fucking destroyed. I was like, what? Like, it was a big what. This one, there's a little bit of a, fake out reveal, and you're just like, yeah, I saw, I could tell that was there. Like, you could, the second you see something, you're like, that looks weird. Okay. It didn't hurt the story, but it killed a little bit of the momentum, because I was like, oh, I know what it is. And then because they're putting it, they're drawing you to one, it's a red herring. They're drawing you to one character, and then they snag it away. But I could see it coming. Like, Groucho looks more like Gene. No, it's supposed to be Groucho's mask.
Wait, Gene Shalit is on my, believe it or not, he's still alive. He's on my celebrity Deadpool list.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Gene Shalit. I foolishly. So is June Lockhart, though.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we bet on these things. House on Haunted Hill, 13 Ghosts, The Tingler. Castle also directed Willard. Oh, the original Willard.
Yeah, and I've seen and own. I don't own the Tingler. I don't, but I think I own all the other ones. It's not that one. It's not Notorious or Murderous. Notorious is Vincent, what's his name? Hitchcock, right? It's something else. Murderous. We'll find it. Gina's 99. Wow. Yeah, it does look like him, but that's because the mask has a lot of wear and tear on it. Could not be reached. It's like the hair's all frizzied out. It's supposed to be a Groucho mask. He has the glasses. They refer to him as Groucho, but he needs to wear that because everyone's in a costume. Mm-hmm. So that's the way he can kill that guy and take his place on the train. Because once the train's in motion, that's the end of it. They can't. They even try to. They are pretty smart. They do say, "Okay, let's stop the train." It's a very well done script. Like it
was some of the execution of it was just something missed with the execution on some of the things. Other things were done really well. Mm-hmm. I thought the gore effects were good. Mm-hmm. Those were well done. Some of the kills were pared down. It wasn't overly bloody, but I mean, we did get some cool like cadaver effects, and yeah, we saw a few things here and there. But no, this is almost like a slasher Agatha Christie kind of.
Yeah, but without the it's like Giallo style, but American made, but not. It has the guy in the mask. It has the unknown killer. It does have the investigation. It has the guy investigating. He's an amateur sleuth. He's not a cop. So it's Murder on the Orient Express, but without, it is Murder on the Orient Express, but it doesn't have the gore. It doesn't have the crazy music that the Giallos have. So it's just the style. It's just you're right. The execution is not there. Like the intent is there. Mm-hmm. Some good dialogue. Like acting was like okay. Yeah. The dick guy's a dick. You feel bad for the you like Jamie Lee. I actually liked her friend. I thought she was like I kind of felt bad that Mitchie. That Doc was kind of
he was fucking around on her.
Yeah, that guy's a total asswipe, and he's like a kind of a low. I don't want to say low key. He's a realistic asswipe. Like some of these bullies that we've seen in other movies are like fake movie bullies where you're like, yeah, I'm just calling the police. Like, there has to be a bully who's like relatively realistic that you wouldn't like. If I'm in Karate Kid, I love Karate Kid Part 1, 10 out of 10, love it. But if those guys came and beat the crap out of my son, like I'm calling the cops. Like these people tried to murder my son. Yeah. Like, right? Like Miyagi comes or not. Like I'm like, you've tried to murder him. Like, and no, you're not competing in this tournament. I'm shutting this dojo down. You know what I mean? Like, right. Like you're breeding psychopaths here. But anyways, I love Karate Kid 10 out of 10. But
it's a great movie.
Yeah. Anyway, this guy's like a realistic asshole. Like he's just a dick enough so that you're like, you want to punch him in the face, but should he be murdered? Like, I mean, not really. Like,
yeah, there's you look at the level, like we said, for this to be a revenge whodunit, the level of escalation of violence compared to the original offense,
right,
was like, holy shit, dude. Like, I mean, I know, like, it's widely known as, and I compare this to, like, ribs in, like, the wrestling business. Like, I mean, guys fuck with dudes' bags and shit like that. I mean, I know people who shit in other people's bags. I mean, that's fucked up. Like, but I mean, like, they're not gonna go out and murder some. You might you find out who did that. You might beat the fuck out of them. Like, I sure as hell I would. But but there's different. Some people are just weird like that. Like, I would like move somebody's shit, like, or something to the other side of the locker room, but like, I would never like purposely, like, or malicious. Dude, I have a lot of money in my gear. You know what I mean? Like, I would.
Right.
You're fucking with somebody's livelihood if you do that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, but so. No, like, this is like, I mean, this could be like fucking this would be some traumatizing shit, but at the end of the day, like, murder.
Yeah, he wasn't hurt. Like, once it's fine while you're watching the movie. It falls up. Okay, it meanders about in the middle section. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be tough on this movie in the ratings, but I do want to praise it because it's an early slasher, so I praise those. So it's a good proto. Like, it's a good first movie for someone who wants to get into it because it's pretty light. there's there's nudity for like a second, so it's not
Yeah.
schlocky. It's not out of control schlock.
No.
But like it does meander in the middle because you're like, okay, let's see where this goes. And then once it's explained, you're like, this guy's revenge he wasn't hurt. Like in the burning, the guy's burnt.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Like they played this prank and this guy got hurt. Right?
Cropsy got lit on fire.
He got lit on fire. And a lot of these prank movies, I mean, Melvin gets thrown into toxic waste, but that's a trauma movie, so that's just outrageousness. But like this was like the guy twisted around and then something happened, which there's no correlation to it. Like it's not like in Prom Night, there's I think so. I can't remember if someone dies. I haven't seen that in a while. Someone dies, right? So it's like I get the fact that, okay, look, your prank went bad, This prank didn't go that bad. Firstly, you're a medical student, so you shouldn't be reacting this way. You saw a dead body. You went in to go kiss this woman, and she was a dead girl, and then they tricked you. You're gonna go sleep with a corpse. First of all, where'd they get this corpse? Whatever. If they're medical students, they got it. I don't know. But certainly, you overreacted. And if you're overreacting that much, you're not cut out to be in medical school. So I don't know how you graduate or how you got to the point where you were about to graduate the year before, or I guess they were the first year students.
Yeah, that was first year.
Their first year, but still. Like, I'm like, this was overreact. Like, he should have just been like, damn you. Or something should have happened and maybe he should have fallen and maybe he could have gotten some sort of involuntary change in his, like something changed. So now he's, gotta play for the other side or what. Like maybe something happened down there that messed him up. And then he's like, oh, now I'm going to destroy. You know what I mean? Yep. Then you're like, yeah. Like, and then the other thing too, is that there has to be a little bit of relatability, to Cropsy, where you're like, you know what? I know he was a dick, but if someone burned me, it's like, F it, I'm going to destroy them. Right. There has to be a little bit, but I had zero sympathy for this. Like they played a trick on you. Big deal, buddy. Like this wasn't that bad. Like this is like a Porky's trick. Like, haha, you're naked. Okay. Like, I mean, this is not like, you're making it sound like this is a gay horror movie. Well, I don't know. There is those elements. There's definitely those elements for sure in the one character, but the other one I read into. No, it's neat. Like I like the one train thing.
How you said I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, go. Yeah, I did my point. Yeah.
No, you're fine, bro. How you said like it was like a proto slasher, right?
Yeah.
So you can see because the murder mysteries were big leading into the slasher before that. So you can see those aspects of that genre still clinging on to this script in the setting and the overall structure. But then you took those slasher elements and injected them into that, which is, it's kind of cool. Like you said, seeing the genre develop and find its legs, like a baby deer learning to walk. Those first few clumsy steps they take. This one, no, it wasn't bad in terms of execute. Like I said, execution, it missed the mark a few times with things, but overall, it covers the bases. You've got your archetype characters. Some of them get a little bit of development to serve the plot, which is pretty, like I said, we both kind of figured this one out early on.
Yeah, not through the fault of the script.
No.
Or the acting. It's through the fault of the makeup. Homicidal was the name of the William Castle movie, which has like my wife actually had watched it first. She was on TV. She's like, have you seen Homicidal? She's like, it's this guy named William Castle. I was like, oh, no, I haven't seen that, but I want to. So she's like, I just bought it based off her recommendation. It's brilliant. But yeah, this one, as soon as you saw the person, you're like, wow, that's the ugliest blank I've ever seen. You're like something's off with this thing. Like this. Plus, we're living in this time now where like there's so many examples. Like there's so many examples of this type of person now that you see everywhere online and everything that you've got now. Like our radar like is like on point. You're like, yeah, like Austin Powers messed up with Basil's mom, but other than that, it's like,
yeah,
that's my mother.
Yeah,
I mean, I could tell. I was like, whoa, that's not who that is. I'm like, okay, I figured it out.
Yeah, so. I immediately, it was just like,
wait a minute.
Yeah, like, no. You're not sneaking that one by me.
Yeah, no.
Like you said, man, the radar just went like,
What? Wait, oh, what? And I got my notes, so you can literally see us. And I was like, killer. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines down. And then I'm like, oh, I was like, I got it now. I'm like, I know who it is, right? It's like Glenn or Glenda. Exactly. Could not be reached. Glenn or Glenda.
So you go through the panic because he kills who gets it first? Jackson, the black guy.
Yeah.
Black guy. He gets it first.
Get that trope in there.
Yep. And he had a pretty cool creature from the Black Lagoon costume.
Yeah, but like almost like a low budget Ben Cooper.
It was a schlock lagoon.
It was a schlock, yeah. It was just like a lizard or something stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know. If that was supposed to be the creature, that's a fail. I think it was just supposed to be like a generic lizard creature, but it covered the full body, so it allows the killer to take that costume. So that's neat.
Yeah, because he takes and makes a mess of him in the bathroom. Like, I mean, just bloodies the hell out of this guy.
Yeah.
And just leaves a mess in there. And somebody, who is it? Because the door's locked. You see, like he smashes his fucking head into the mirror. Because he's got the Groucho mask on, so he thinks it's was it Fred? I think is the guy, the character's name. I can't remember his name.
Whatever, the Shelley stand-in or whatever.
Shelley stand-in. The prequel Shelley. Well, this
prequel Shelley.
So, but no, he like comes into the bathroom. He's acting all drunk. Yeah, get you another one here. And he's like, and Jackson's drunk, and he just takes his head and just. Jason Voorhees him right into the fucking
part 6.
Yeah. Again, man.
Oh, yeah.
Think about it. They're in a close, confined space, a bathroom on a train. That was the RV in part 6. Close quarters, face through the mirror in the side of the RV. Yeah. There's holy shit. It all just like bat.
Yeah.
There's so many little things. And this movie did it first.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is this movie's as old as me.
Yeah, I was 3 years old when this came out, so
oh my god.
Pretty damn good. This is Empire, so you could have went to go see this or Empire Strikes Back. I guess Empire Strikes Back was gonna beat this one.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
They did a lot, they put a lot of effort in. This is still the time period where effort in the characters, story, setting, plot, all that mattered. Whereas I love Friday the 13th, but it became more about crazy kills and goofy characters. This was still trying to be low-key realistic. These guys rented a train. There's a bunch of these medical students. They all got together to have a train, have a party on the train. They've got a conductor. They've got the guy running the engine. Everyone's in place. They have a magician on board. Everything's like all ready to go set up, except the snag is that this guy's going to take this opportunity to get his revenge, and his revenge is planned out. His revenge is planned out because, what does it say? Open in the United States October 3rd, gross $8 million. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Well, horror movies are always going to get big return because they're a known entity. Like you're going to go and have fun. Like it's a slasher. You're going to see a bunch of people get killed. Even for back then, it's just known. It's like, oh, that's going to be fun, right? And a bunch of people, nobody goes alone. Unless you're me, I saw Terrifier 3 on my own.
Me too.
Oh, nice.
Me too.
nice. Okay, but we're like high level horror nerds, but like regular normie nerds, like normie horror fans are going to go together. Oh, do you want to go see Terror Train? Yeah, I'll go. Oh, let's get John to go, and let's get Vic to go, and let's get Billy to go. And then, everyone goes together, and then the girls go, and they all kind of pair up. And it's never just one ticket, right? It's like family movies. Your little kid doesn't go. You got to take your kid. And then your wife wants to go. And then it's like a family event. All of a sudden, now you're buying 3, 4, 5 tickets, and everyone's got to have popcorn. And all of a sudden, you just spent $100 and you watch a trash movie and you came back and you're like, I didn't like it, but your kid thought it was great. And you're like, well, okay, I guess he liked it. So I guess I liked it. And that's the end of it. This is like a guaranteed money,
Yeah.
But they did well. They paid, but because of that, you do lose the outlandishness
Mhm.
of slasher movies, and it doesn't have the style of those Italian ones which came before it.
Oh,
That's the only negatives.
And I was gonna say it tried to mimic some of the cinematography with some of the hallway shots, which again, like you said, we're high level horror nerds. We're watching for that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm watching, and they're shooting down the hallways of the train, and I'm like, that's a shot like that you had in Inferno.
You're right.
You know, in the hotel, the apartment building. But yeah, this is it was a almost a lofty goal of a movie, and it made money. So I mean, that was a win for the studio. You know, they tried something new because this was kind of a hybrid whodunit slasher. So yeah, and then you have what Mitchie gets she's the one, she gets her throat slit. I can't remember what's his name, Mo. He and I've seen that guy in a bunch of stuff too.
For sure. We'll check.
Yeah.
Oh my, the guy who made this, the director of this movie directed The Sixth Day and Tomorrow Never Dies.
Holy shit.
And Turner and Hooch. Oh my goodness.
The director, Roger Spottis.
Yeah, Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
Oh my, Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
Oh my God. Wow, this is his first movie. That's great. But yeah, I'm telling you, horror movies, that's where to start.
Yep.
Peter Jackson. David Cronenberg is still kind of doing them. But like Sam Raimi, all these guys, they all, John Carpenter, everyone's a horror person because you could do whatever you want. Right? And it makes sense. It's your creativity, whatever, and it's always lower budgeted.
Speaking of John Carpenter, if you would have put John Carpenter to write and direct this movie, Carpenter writing and directing, you still have the same cast.
Yeah.
But Dean Cundy doing cinematography and Carpenter and Howarth scoring it.
Yeah. That's what it's missing.
Yep.
Right?
It didn't have a score that grabbed you. And I said this way back when Trina and I started this. I said, people think horror is all about the gore, but it's more about the score, because without that, you lose most, if not all, of your like ambience. Look at Halloween. When they released it without the score at first, it didn't test well. Then they tested it with Carpenter scoring it, and it was like, okay, yep, now you've got a movie. So this one really, it didn't have that. It was lacking. And like you said, it tried to almost mimic the Giallo movies, and it is lacking in that department more than any of the other items on the checklist, But it was a fun movie in the respect that you're like, if you have a keen eye, you're going to figure it out early like we did. But if not, it's still fun because you still get to see everything unfold. And it does as far as conclusions go, it's satisfying. I didn't have an issue with it. I'm like, no, this is fine.
Yeah. What else can you what can you do? I can't sit there and think of something. So I'm like, well,
no.
The killer is pretty good. Like, he's completely bonkers.
Yep.
Which is always nice. The end chasing parts are pretty neat. Everything's in place. Like, everything's in place in this movie. I'm gonna give it a decent score. The only thing is that the music and a little bit of meandering just in the middle part. It probably could have been 85 minutes as opposed to 97 or I don't remember what.
It was 97.
Yeah. Just 10 minutes, guys. So somebody said this for, I remember who, it may have been one of the wine scenes, but anyways, he goes, you can pick up a movie and you can shake 10 minutes out of it.
I was going to say, where you could trim the fat, and I want to talk about this scene in particular, is the party scene in the middle act of the movie on the train with the magic show. They really, I wonder how much they paid David Copperfield, because they gave him a lot of screen time. Like,
I know. I love magic.
Same.
I know.
I do too.
Yeah, I have magic books. I watched Masked Magician. I knew a magician who showed me how to do the bill that you turn into another bill, and it's crazy how they do it. He showed me how to do it. He did it in front of me and then showed me. I love magic, but I'm sitting here thinking, is this the David Copperfield? I literally was like, the middle is David Copperfield.
It is. It absolutely is. You talk about like subplots in movies, or like where a movie has like a side quest in it. Mm-hmm. This whole center is a side quest. I always go back to one example of this because it's so prominent, and it's the 2007 Running Scared movie with Paul Walker.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I liked that movie. Yeah,
great movie. Yeah. But where oh god, I always her name.
Yes, I know the girl. I know the girl you're talking about, though.
The one that plays his girlfriend.
Oh.
She goes off to find the kid, and she goes to the van. She's looking for the kid.
It's Vera Farmiga.
Vera Farmiga. Thank you.
And her sister now. Her sister, who looks like her daughter, just because they're like 100. They're sisters.
I thought it was her daughter, because her sister was on American Horror Story. Thaisa Farmiga.
And she's in the Nun movies.
Yep.
Which I absolutely super love both of them. Same. I know everyone hates those. Like, somebody's like, those are the weakest. I'm like, are you crazy? Those are awesome. Them. Anyways, I love them.
I enjoyed them. They were fun. Me and my wife would see the second one in the theater.
Oh, man. Yeah. Even my wife liked both part 1 and 2.
Yeah, we enjoyed the hell out of it.
Yeah, those are good. Anyways, but you're right, Vera. She goes around, and that's kind of the dip. Like, why is this happening?
She goes and she kills the 2 PDF files.
Yeah.
Which that was like a 15-minute side quest in the movie. And it was the chick that played Juliet on Lost. Immediately, I was like, "Oh, that's Juliet from Lost."
Oh my god, yeah.
Funny story. So I'm at a water park. What was it, about 4 years ago? 4 years ago, in Frankenmuth, Michigan, with my wife and kid and another couple and their daughter that my son goes to school with. And I see this woman walk by, and I say to my buddy Kyle, I'm like, "Bro, is that the actress that played Juliet in Lost?" He goes, "There's no way." And I look, and I sat here as the kids are playing for like a half hour, and like every couple seconds, I'm like, just look,
It's me.
And I pulled it up on my phone, and I said, okay, if I approach her without her IMDb pulled up, I'm gonna do it, because otherwise, I walked up to her, I said, "Excuse me, ma'am." And she turned around and she goes, "Yes." I'm like, "I have to ask, because you are a dead ringer for, and I said, "Is this you?" And she's like, "I wish." She goes, "No, I said, "Are you sure?" She's like, "Yeah."
I don't believe you.
I was like, "I don't believe you." I was basically how it was, because like, seriously, I was just looking at her, go like, "No fucking way." But I'm like, "All right, I'm sorry to bother you." She goes, "Thank you, by the way." I'm like, "Oh, you're welcome."
So it actually wasn't her.
And the actress was like, she's at this point, I can't remember how old she was then, but like, I mean, if this was her, I was like, and that's why I said I didn't want her to think, because like my wife said, I told her, I said, because my wife said, go see if it's her, because I was like, I don't want her to think I'm like hitting on her. I like clearly like I had my wedding ring on, I'm like, I'm not like, my wife and kid are over there. I'm gonna go. I don't have it on now, but I was gonna go over there and hit on this chick that I think is Juliet from Lost, But no. So yeah,
it would have been fun if it was her, but
if it was her, I would have fucking marked the fuck out and got a picture.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in a Lost group on Facebook and shit. Like, I love that.
Never seen it.
The Dharma logo was the original logo for my channel, just redesigned for the place to be reviews. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I never watched Lost. It was a big thing at work. There's a few people that wanted me to watch it. So then just out of spite, I'm like, yeah, I'm not watching it. And then they're like, "You really need to." And this one guy would keep pestering me like, "Nope, I'm going to not watch it." I said, the more you ask me to watch it, the less likely I am going to watch it. And then I just to be a dick. And then now I've never seen it. Activia, yes.
The writer strike took its toll on that show.
They couldn't.
It did. I still enjoy the show, man. I loved it. Like, I'm a mark for that show. Like, it can, there's some things that like I was like, but still at the end of the day, I'm like, to me, that's, you know how you have certain shows that can just do no wrong in your eyes.
Yeah.
Like that's one of them for me. It's like I protect that show like it's family. I love that show.
All my shows are nerd shows like Star Trek. I like Blake Seven, Doctor Who. I like Downton Abbey. I like Cosby Show. I don't care. I've seen it 100 times over, whatever. So I like Linda Carter, Wonder Woman, Batman 66. So all my shows are like the nerd shows. I'm trying to think, do I have a show that people are kind of on and I kind of like it? I don't know. I think people think Batman 66 is stupid.
That show's fucking amazing, dude. Awesome. That's the foundation, man. That's the foundation for the house, well, the comics, obviously, but like the show is for bringing it to the screen. Adam West is like, he's on the throne. Like that is as far as like I'm a Michael Keaton Batman guy myself. Yep. Like I wished Ben Affleck got like a fair shake as Batman because I think his interpretation of it was good. The movie BVS
sucks, but he looks good. He looks good as Batman. Like he looks like a good Batman. Yeah. I like this casting. I thought, this might be interesting. Yeah, this might be. I like Ben Affleck. I haven't seen Accountant 2 yet, but I'm very excited to get.
I haven't seen the first one. So.
Oh, dude, I just saw. Okay, I was embarrassed to say I only just seen it about a couple of weeks ago, and it's a bloody masterpiece. And John Bernthal's in it too.
All right.
And they're like opposing each other, but then there's something. Anyways, but Batgirl, Lost, and She-Hulk. Oh, I used to watch all your Batgirl. So I watched all of Batgirl season 1. Batwoman. I'm sorry, Batwoman. Batwoman. So I do own the first 2 seasons of Batwoman. I don't know if I own season 3, but I watched all of season 1. I thought this is a pretty trash show, and I would watch all your reviews. And then I started Batwoman season 2. I thought, wow, this is horrendously trash beyond anything. Even I can't finish it. And then you were still continuing. So I was like, I'm watching Pete's reviews on it. And my wife would watch a few. And she's like, no, it's still terrible. My wife could not get through it.
It was
and I'm
bad.
like, well, it's really bad. And then She-Hulk, I did finish all of She-Hulk. But Lost, what are you putting Lost in that category?
That doesn't belong in there. That doesn't belong in
that category. Was a real show with a real fan base.
No, She-Hulk, I quit after episode 5. It was like Gotham Knights. Gotham Knights was like my new Batwoman. I was like, I did the first 2 episodes. They were good. The reviews were, I think I made it to episode 5. And my episode 5 review was Porky Pig saying, "Beneep, beneep, beneep." That's all, folks. Yeah. That was the entire review. It was 7 seconds long.
I didn't even watch that at all.
I was like, nope, I'm done. I'm done.
Yep. But zero interest.
See, we went off on a side quest.
Yes. Okay. So let's go. I got to finish by 10 tonight. So
yeah.
All right. So back to the magic user, David Copperfield.
David Copperfield is just putting on a fucking magic. He's not a show, a clinic. Like he's putting cigarettes through quarters. He's making tall ladies disappear. He's levitating her and shit. It's it just and they go on and on. He gets peanuts out of the machine for Jamie Lee Curtis's character. He's doing what about my I wanted to say what about my nuts? He would be like, I got them right here today.
Yeah, I got my nuts in my hand here for you.
Yeah, hang on. But no, it just went on and on. And like I said, he had his little disco routine during that was like the main like musical score was like the disco scene right there. Yeah. Like that was what we got.
It was all just like it killed the momentum. That's the problem. Like
cut that scene way down. If somebody
big time.
If somebody took this movie and edited that scene down, you wouldn't lose anything. Really, in terms of story plot, you wouldn't lose much of, if anything, out of there, and your runtime would be much more compact. And I think it would make the movie. I would help the pacing a lot. What up? Shalom to Helen. Good to see you.
Hello. This movie needs to be shorter, and also the more they showed of David Copperfield, the more I knew he wasn't the killer, but the movie wanted me to think that he was.
It set it up.
It set it up that way. And the problem is that the more you show of the guy, you're like, this doesn't feel like he's the killer. And then, I mean, should we say that we're 51 minutes in?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so his lady assistant is a guy, and that's Kenny. Now the thing is that how and when. The problem with this is that it starts to muddle the story, because if Kenny is sneaking on board dressed as Groucho, then how is he the assistant? Like, why? The assistant already had a train ticket to come on. So why the need for any disguises at all? Like, right? So now it's weird. You're like, but you were already there. And then there's like, you could tell it was a guy.
Oh, there was never a moment where you didn't look at that and be like, yeah, that's a man.
That's a man. And like magicians. So I know about magic. Magicians' assistants are always beautiful women who are skinny and short, because they have to cram themselves into boxes half their size, especially. And if you're doing that trick where they're moving the body around, like they're crammed into one thing with just their head poking out of the second thing. Like, it's like, so all of these things. So we know that they've got to be like contortionists and short, skinny girls. And I'm like, this is like this tall, lanky woman that's a man. I'm like, and then you see the face for a second, you're like, whoa, that looks brutal. that is a dude. That's either a very ugly woman or a dude. And the movie wants me to think it's the magician because he has access to all of these things. So the only other person that has the same access as the magician is the magician's assistant, who also goes unnoticed because you're always watching the magician. That's how they do most their tricks. The assistant does like 60% of the stuff. So she's so I'm like, okay, this is obviously the killer. And it was. Now, I'm not making fun of that guy's acting, because when he was full killer mode, he was bonkers. Like, he was insane. Kind of like Taskmaster. Taskmaster. Oh, that pissed me right off. Like, badly. I hate that movie because of that last half an hour. But yeah, so like, it's not the magician, right? I do like that the magician is killed with his own safe sword through the box. That's kind of fun. But like, the whodunit part's kind of gone. You're like, all right, it's this crazy person. But now here's the big question. Maybe you can answer this because you just watched this and I watched it a week ago. The big question is, how do you go from a prank done whatever years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, how long it took, that in that prank, the kid spun around in crazy and got twisted up into the curtains. Now he's saying, like, he's living as a woman. So was he living as a woman this entire time? Because a magician's assistant isn't just picked in 2 seconds. It feels like they've known each other for a long time to get the routine down. So he's been masquerading as his magician, hoping to get on the same train with these people. Like, you guys overthought this. That's the problem. And you're forcing me to overthink it. But I don't even understand. Were they trying to say that he became a trans woman? Like, I thought maybe there was an accident and he lost his wee-wee. And then because of that accident, like, something happened and he fell out the window and he fell weird, or he fell on something. And then now he's impotent or something. And now he's like, well, now you've maybe turned into this woman and now I want revenge. I can't tell if that's what they were trying to say and they just didn't have the guts to just say it.
They said he killed somebody. He had like mental problems, and that was like the only backstory I really heard. Was he was like disturbed or whatever. And I think they said he killed somebody before.
Yeah, but why is he dressing up as a woman to do this? Sleepaway Camp. But Sleepaway Camp, which is an awesome movie, and you may have guessed some upcoming but in Sleepaway Camp, they clearly show the aunt is a bonkers, insane mad woman who turned the kid into a girl because she wanted a daughter, and she forced the guy to become Angela or whatever, and forced him to be a woman or whatever. So that's a reveal. And also, Felicia Rose in that movie is an actual girl. So it is a shocker, because it actually is better for a real girl to then wear a fake thing. Well, not when they superimposed her head over this guy.
Yeah, they had to make a mold and everything.
Yeah. So, but that's better than trying to pass off a dude to look like a man, especially in that time with the limited makeup effects. Like now, you could do something, maybe make his nose a little smaller, or like put his cheeks in. Like they would do a lot more. They would do what these people are really doing nowadays to try to make themselves look less manly, even though it 99.9 doesn't work. And it certainly didn't work in this one. You're like, That's a man. It's like, here's my assistant. Oh, you mean that man? Yeah. There's your.
My lovely assistant. Yeah, where the fuck is she? Behind that dude? Like, you ain't fooling nobody, madam.
He's saying there's a lovely assistant. When's she showing up?
Yeah. Yeah, where's the lovely assistant? Yeah, she ain't got a madam's apple, does she?
She's standing behind that man.
Yeah, tell your lovely assistant to pull her dress down. Her balls are showing.
I mean, I know. But look, you got to hand it to them for going down. Listen, they went down a path that is definitely less traveled. So I mean, look. I'm also watching this, and I think we both watched the same copy. Like we got it from the library. We're watching a pretty decent Blu-ray transfer. You're watching this in 1980 in a piss theater. You can't even see anything, and you're like, "What? Oh my god! My mind is blown. What? Oh my god, what's going on?" Like we're watching, and some Shout Factory's gonna put this on 4K, and then you're gonna be able to tell it's a man in about like 1 millisecond, right?
Right.
Like I could tell as soon as you saw her in the very beginning or whatever, I was like, that looks like I was like, was that a man? And then I kind of didn't think about it for the rest of the movie. And then I saw her again. I was like, oh yeah, that's a man. I'm like, oh, this must be the killer because they're trying to make it seem like it's the magician. I'm like, okay, they didn't get away with they're definitely not getting away with it now on Blu-ray. They definitely went on 4K. No. Like I'm watching Next Generation on Blu-ray, and you're like, that is not Tasha Yar in any, like she's doing some martial arts. I'm like, that ain't Denise Crosby. Like, you're like, that's like someone else. Like it's they didn't think that 30 years or whatever later someone's going to be watching. Everyone's watching this on a shitty TV. They didn't think we're going to be watching on a 65-inch 4K up converted Blu-ray. Going, hey, that's not her, right? So same with this movie. They shot it in 1980. They didn't think two guys are going to talk about this for like over an hour and analyze the crap out of it after watching a high-res Blu-ray version. Like they didn't think that was going to happen. So
right. Nobody looks into their crystal ball and sees that happening. Like,
no. Well, now they should.
Yeah.
Like you could just assume it's going to get, because 8K will be the last one, but 8K will come, in the next whatever years. So like, if you're making a movie now, keep it in mind.
Yeah, stay away from shitty effects.
Yeah. If you can't do it, don't do it.
Right. Yeah, if it's out of your means, do something else, improvise, because like that's why practical is always going to be king, and CGI will never hold up properly.
Yeah, you can't render that in you can't actually render CGI in 4K. It would be like, you would need massive like hard drive space. Like that's why Star Wars, well, what I call Star Wars, which is what people call A New Hope, like real Star Wars looks better than like the prequels or even the newer ones with JJ or whatever, like the sequels, because it's like anytime you put CGI in, the CGI is not going to get rendered at the same quality as the actual filmed footage. So it's going to look like the CGI. Eventually you'll get to a point where the CGI looks worse than the live footage you film, because you can't make it more than 2K. Like you can't make it. It would be impossible. It took like 2 or 3 weeks to render Lawrence of Arabia onto the Blu-ray or 4K or whatever. That's one of my favorites. I have that in every version. And it's like, it literally like just the render, like, okay, guys, ready? Okay, render, click. Okay, we'll come back in 3 weeks when it's done. And after they did it, there was so much, there was actual sand on the camera lens that came out. Granules were, you're like, what's all these, oh shit. So then they had to digitally go back and remove sand, like grain from it because it was filmed, you're like, it gets too clear. Like, you don't need to see my, up my nose hairs. Like, oh, can you see up in here? Like,
yeah.
Anyways, but Queen Latifah and her TV show.
Oh, The Equalizer.
Oh, I didn't. Nobody watched that.
Right. Yeah. You believe a 65-year-old black woman with sugarfoot is beating up 24-year-old NFL linebackers? Like, I don't think so.
Yeah, she can't even beat diabetes, so I don't think she forget about it. That's an offensive. That's actually an offensive program. The real Equalizer, Edward Woodward from that time was awesome. Denzel, good choice if you want to go, if you want to race swap it, whatever. But Denzel's a good actor. The race didn't matter that much really in that show, so it wasn't a big deal. And he was great as that character. And then why wouldn't they just get another black guy to continue that?
Yeah,
like
continuity.
That line, that continuity or whatever. Like I like Queen Latifah. I'm making fun of her, but I like her. But she's not the Equalizer. I don't understand.
That was made at a different time. Think about it. The show came out. Hollywood is going in a different direction. But with this one, God, let's see. Hang on, let me get the old notepad out here.
Yeah, I'm looking at my notes now. I kind of ran out of. I think I've said it.
So we go the conclusion. You've got the chase sequence between Jamie and Kenny, and he's chasing her through the train. I like when she corners herself in that little booth in the bunkhouse for like the crew, locks herself in there because she stabbed him through the face at this point with like that letter holder that was on the desk. She jammed it in.
Where you put the receipts for stuff. Yep. They used that in Intruder, and they got the guy's eye out with that, which is really neat too. Intruder's a great movie. Bruce Campbell's not only in it at the very end, but Danny Hicks is in it. Movie.
I think I have Intruder. I think I might have got that one from the library.
Oh, you may have if not, I can put it back on. And I have to get the other ones from the library, but I've got I should have those at the ready because those are some of my faves. I'll write it down.
All right. Yeah, I'll have to look. I'm pretty sure I have that one.
And I'll write Intruder down just in case we need it. Intruder.
But no, so we have the big chase sequence, and they busts out of the cage finally, and because he breaks out the lights, and he's still got his mask on at this point, and I like when he sits down at the table, she like, oh, everything's okay, and she sits down and she thinks it's one of the crew, and he grabs her hands when she goes to leave, and it's Kenny. And he's like, kiss me. And she kisses him and he freaks out. And they like start flashing back to the beginning of the movie with him doing Lyra, twirling himself around gracefully. And he like freaks out. And in comes the old guy, the conductor, and he fucking hits him. He like ends up hitting him with the axe and knocking him off the train. Because there was a fake out when Jamie Lee thought she knocked him off the first time.
Yes.
That's when he came back in and got the uniform. But yeah, this time you see his body just splat, hits the ice and bounces into the river. And that was the end of Kenny. So
oh my God, they killed Kenny, you're right.
You bastards. Yeah. And he did the worst death was he took David Copperfield from us too soon.
Oh. And no one ever saw David Copperfield again. No one ever heard of him again.
He sold the shit out of that. He's keeping kayfabe. He disappeared after that movie. He's got to maintain the illusion.
Yeah, that's right. There's two David Copperfields. It's like Prestige, or what was that?
Yeah, the Prestige.
Is that the one where there's two of them? No, is that the one where there's two of them? Yeah, that was the Prestige. That's right. The other one was Edward Norton's. There's the Illusionist. That was the other one. Prestige is the two of them. Yeah, I don't know. There's so many of these. I do like these magic movies, but then you're like, I don't remember what happened. I don't like Magic Mike. There was no magic in that. So
what about the American Society of Magical Negroes?
Is that a movie?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. Oh, that sounds awesome.
It was horrible. It was horrible. It was god awful. Like, it was terrible. It was just like it made white people look like morons, and it was like it played on the trope of like the magical Negro in the movie. You know what I
Oh
mean?
my
Like
God. Okay.
that the whole thing was designed around that, and the black people's like purpose is to keep white people comfortable in life, because when white people aren't comfortable, they're dangerous.
Oh, this is this is a new movie. Forget about it.
Yeah, it was
I forget
terrible.
about it. Okay, I thought it was an old movie.
No. I was
new
being
movies.
sarcastic.
Oh, okay. I was like, no. I thought this was like 1985 or something.
No.
That sounds. It
No.
would have been cool if it was back then. I'm sure.
Not made today.
Yeah.
But this one, I'll let you go ahead and score it first.
Okay, so I'll give it a 6 out of 10, so a 3 out of 5. I want to give it more. The thing is, the praise of it is, I do like the story, I do like the dialogue, I do like the characters. The negatives are it goes too long for a slasher movie, and it undermines its own, like the twist undermines its story, because it makes everything be like, why did you need to dress up as the lizard? Why do you need to be Groucho? You're on the train already, just kill the people. How did you meet David Copperfield? So it just made me question all these things. I know it's a slash movie, I shouldn't read into it too much, but that's the point of having a stream. Terror Train, yes, I think I'm going to pick it up. I'll get the collector's edition. I should own it. It is a proto. These proto slashers are important. It's been copied, so I want to give it respect that way. But like the problem is, it's like even movies of that time I've seen done better. The pacing is really, look, the story is, whatever. The pacing is a little bit of the killer, because halfway through I thought, wow, the last 10 minutes I just watched could have been removed. And I can't think of that for some of these other ones that we've covered. Mm-hmm. And for a whodunit, there should be more investigation than just saying, it's the magic guy. It's like, how did you come up with that? Like, you wouldn't think that. You would think it's one of your people, because why would a magic guy happen to be on the same train? Like, how did he work that out? Like, without you knowing it when you booked the train. So see, that's what I'm saying. This is weird. Like, the plot doesn't cost budget, right? Like, it doesn't, there's no budget in how the story is played out. So, but pretty good kills. I like the characters. I like Jamie Lee. I love the entire chase of her, and when she's trapped in that thing, that's super cool. Yeah. Stabbing the guy with that thing is super cool. I do like that he's completely bonkers. So kudos to all of those points. So I'm still giving it a kind of a passing grade. So 3 out of 5 for this one. There you go.
I'm honestly, I was struggling with a 3.5 or a 3 because of the pacing.
Yeah.
That's really the only issue. The story was, there's a few, like we said, there's a few little things here and there, but overall you can just kind of sweep it under the rug because there's other stuff that makes up for it.
Yeah.
So it's really just the pacing in the middle act of the movie. If you
go 3.5, like,
yeah, I go, yeah, this is worthy of a 3.5.
Yeah.
This one's a 3.5.
I'm gonna put 3.5 also for me. Like, I watched this movie. I was like, I really wish I would have. It's just one of these, like, I wish I would have seen it a bit earlier. Mm-hmm. Like, I saw The Burning about maybe 20 years ago or something, or 15 years ago. So I didn't see it when it came out, but I saw it long ago enough that I was like, oh shit, that was awesome. I think it was 20 years ago I saw The Burning. So I was like, yeah, this is awesome. I wish I had seen that then, because then it would still be in that, remember when I was a bit younger and I was watching everything, like, it's like that, right? So I think I can put myself back. Look, if I saw Terror Train when it came out, or whatever, when I was younger watching Halloween and all that, it would just be like, oh yeah, this is awesome, right? So it's hard to go back now when you have these entire 2 shelves are slammed with horror movies where I can't even fit anymore in there now. Like, they're now doubled up where you can't see the movie behind that, right? So It's very difficult to then go back and be like, pretend you're 18 and watching this, like when you saw Nightmare and when you saw Freddy, when you saw Jason and Pinhead, and it's like, yeah, that would have been so awesome, right? So yeah, 3. I'll give it 3.5 too. Screw it. I'm gonna go up 2. So yeah, I agree. It's worth it.
It's worth the extra 0.5 point for this one.
Yeah.
No, I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
It's
so yeah.
It's good. Like I said, all around premise, acting, characters. You got a really good performance out of the guy that played the conductor.
Yeah,
You know,
he's good.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere because you really just think at the beginning he'll be this minor character, probably get killed off. I thought he was going to die. When I was watching, I'm like, when's he going to get it?
Right.
But no, it played out well, and he gave a good performance. You know, killing Kenny. He's going to kill Kenny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed this one. This was a fun watch.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, good. Another good one. Next week, we are going to review 2 movies. I promise we still will not. Nothing will ever go as long as the stream with the Rob Zombie Halloween 1 and 2. That was 4.5 hours. That'll never happen.
Wow, that's crazy.
I know. I felt bad for Blake. It was his first time on the show, and he hung in there the entire time. And he's come back multiple times since then. So,
okay.
you know, but no. So we'll be doing Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 next Tuesday night right here. Should be able to start 8:05 next Tuesday. But yeah, thank you folks for being here. We appreciate you guys. It's always fun to get to review these, man. We've done some good ones, and yeah, I'm giving out 5 more gift memberships we have to give away for the month right there in the chat. So we just dropped some of those in there. But yeah, it's always fun to go back and watch these. Like you were talking about The Burning. I hadn't seen The Burning until last year or the year before.
Yeah, we did that one, right?
Yep.
That was one. Yeah.
Yep.
No, I mean that's I like the ending of that chase around in that little ruins and all that. That was super. See, the chase in this one was good too, but because it was already on the train, like it stayed on the train versus like it went to somewhere new for a chase, whereas The Burning was in the cabin area, and then it went to that weird ruins for no reason.
Yeah,
there's these ruins there, so it just that one little extra, which makes it like a 4 out of 5 or whatever. You know, like I think I gave that like a 4.5. You know, it's like it's just one little step extra. But
and but so me and Jay Man will be back next Tuesday. You got more content. Go check out episode number 1 of That Pete Daddy Dollar Show if you haven't watched it yet. That's it's going to be part web series and part it's a wrestling promo kind of wrapped in my new little web series I'm going to do every so often. You'll get an episode of that. So there you go. And check us out on Patreon over there. We uploaded a match commentary, and we'll have another movie commentary coming soon. Subscribe to J-Man. Follow us on Twitter. You guys know what to do. Until next time, I'm Pete from Wrestling with Horror. If I don't see you, have a great day. A pleasant tomorrow. I'll catch you on the next one. And remember, it's always better to burn out than fade away.